Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am here with the Begode Blitz Pro. It is here finally on the Water Rush channel. Figured I'd make a little YouTube video, give you some of the basics that I had to go through to set this thing up and get it going, and give you some of my first impressions of the first couple rides. I have about 130 miles on this right now, 220 kilometers more or less, and I received it last week via FedEx. The delivery went flawless, everything was packaged properly, and other than a couple problems while updating the firmware, everything has been going great. So today it's actually not very windy here, so I figured I'll make a video, take you on a cruise. I ended up buying some LED drone flashers. They have a very long battery life because the Begode does not have any taillights. So yeah, I unboxed this wheel. Of course, the first thing you want to do is make sure everything is present, that you've got the charger, that you've got the tool, and I guess make sure that you got your stickers also, huh? Make sure the wheel is there. And the pads, of course, that they came with your wheel also. In my delivery, they were already installed on the wheel, which I thought was really nice. But that's a different topic I'll talk about here in a minute. Other than that, what are some of the first things that you want to do when you get this wheel? It may seem a little overwhelming when you first get it because there's so much happening here, right? And you really can't find a lot of material online about this, other than a few people talking. But the first thing obviously you want to do is make sure that your pedals are installed properly, right? That they line right, that the screws are tight. And since this is a Begode wheel that we're talking about here, you want to make sure that all the screws are kind of tightened. And also make sure that you use proper tools while you're doing this and that they fit properly into the heads, right? Otherwise you can strip them. And of course, if you're using power tools, be very cautious. The next thing that you want to do when you get this wheel is disable the transport mode, because when you turn it on, you'll notice that the wheel is just kind of flopping around. And to do this, you have to hold the free spin button, which is the one all the way on the left side here. I'll show it to you right here. So it's right there. And then in the middle, you have the power button. So to deactivate the transport mode, you want to hold the free spin button while you're clicking the power button about 5 times, and the wheel will make a couple beeping noises. At that point, if it hasn't already turned off, you want to turn it off and turn it back on again. And then when you lift the wheel up, it should beep just like this. And the gyro should engage, right? The next thing that you want to do when you get this wheel, as you can see, you have the air suspension back here, the pneumatic suspension. The wheel comes delivered with a pump for this. You want to unscrew each one of these valves, and I'm not sure. Everybody is going to be different for the values, so go ahead and put about halfway in between. So for the blue chamber here on the left, go ahead, maybe put like 180 psi. And on the red chamber on the right, go ahead, put about 75 psi. And the pushy knobs, you can move them all one way and kind of go back about halfway and just kind of see how that feels. I mean, it'll be better than nothing. And you will most certainly have to get air into the suspension before you're able to access the charging port, which is down here under the screw cap hiding behind the cables for the headlight, right? So you can unscrew that and find the charging port there. I wish I had a better position, but I guess it's protected, right? So once the wheel lifts up and you get some air into the suspension, you're able to charge the wheel. You will have to do that. The next thing that you want to do, in my case, I took these Begode pads off, and a friend of mine had some Begode pads from his lubricant Sherman Elk, and I'm able to use these. The Begode pads that they included, there are hold on. There's a little truck here, stop at the stoplight. The Begode pads here, they are okay, but you'll definitely want to have some more professional pads here on this. Just because you need to have all this right here so you can bring the wheel to an effective stop. It's very important. This is a very powerful wheel. It goes very fast, very quickly. So you want to make sure that you can properly bring it to a quick stop, and proper pads are essential. I do recommend getting the Rizla Sync pads, which I will get those at some point in all black. But for the time being, it works. I was also not quite satisfied with the tail light here on this EUC. The headlights, the blue glow accent lights, and these lights right here, these strips, they're very nice indeed. And they give you a lot of visibility at night, but from the back, this is just not quite enough. The back panel right here, only this back strip, will break red when you're coming to a stop, and it will also blink left or right when you're turning the wheel. So you have a turn indicator, which is really nice. Like I said, you want to make sure all the screws are properly fastened in here. I also had to tighten these ones here on the kickstand. Want to make sure you don't lose these knobs right here, right? And it's a mosquito here. And yeah, of course you want to make sure that this wheel has proper tire pressure, which in this case, it came pre-delivered with 36 PSI, and I've been riding around with that and it seems fine, but you want to probably have at least like 20 PSI in there. Yeah, well, straight out of the box, these were the first things to get going, and of course you want to charge it full, which the stock charger is 5 amps. I'm not quite sure how long it takes, but I also have a PID Zoom charger, and I'm able to charge this wheel at 20 amps, which that's just phenomenal. So that will be 0 to full in 54 minutes at an EV charger. I've got some plugs and all that kind of stuff coming here shortly. And yeah, so I'm gonna get my helmet back on, and I'll take you for a little spin and tell you some more about this wheel and take you on a little cruise. Enjoy this beautiful afternoon here. All right, guys, welcome back. Now this EUC also has a very nice CNC machined metal trolley handle. I really like it a lot. It's very easy to access, put up and down. Some people complain a lot about this screen. I really wish that it was just a little bit brighter, but I don't mind the location. I do have the Vertex bumper kit coming, the ultimate one, and I will be installing that. And it also comes with the screen relocation kit. It comes with a seat. It comes with all the bumpers that fit for this EUC, except for possibly the bottom ones that may not be an exact match, as Nicole from Vertex had told me. But everything else should fit, so I'm going to go ahead and get this on here to protect this wheel, because it is really a nice one. And yeah, let's take you for a little spin. Of course, you want to make sure that before you take your ride, this is a very powerful wheel. It's got 4,500 watts in the motor, which peaked to 8,500 watts. It's the C38 version of the Begode motor. It's got a 3,000 watt hour battery, and it's a 168 volt system. So this EUC is extremely powerful, and it weighs 42 kilograms. So it's also very light. So this is basically like Begode's version of the Librachem Lynx. So we're gonna go ahead and take it for a spin. I really like this handle, guys, I really do. And another cool thing about this EUC is when you're coming to a standstill, the headlight will sort of dim, and when you're taking off, it gets really bright. So, thank you. All right, thanks. On this EUC, you want to get some better pads on this ASAP, and you can fully enjoy this wheel. I wanted to do a little comparison with the camera and do something a little bit with the noise. So I'll be right back. Okay, I put a little piece of tape over the microphone, and I want to see if this improves the sound quality while I'm riding and talking. So yeah, like I mentioned, the pads are everything on this EUC. The ones that they sent, they're okay. They're better than nothing, but if you really want to ride this wheel, you have to get some better pads. And you can feel right away, once you have proper installed pads on this wheel, that you can fully enjoy it. And I felt like, yeah, I was just kind of getting going on it and kind of like taking it at very low speeds, just to kind of feel how it rides. But I couldn't really accelerate with it because my feet were not in a proper position, and I could never get them in a proper position. Thanks to my friend for selling these ones to me. Okay, here we got some cars coming up, all good. Beautiful sunset, guys. So if you want to come to a stop, you just kind of throw yourself back, and you can easily stop without getting the bars. This wheel will try to wobble on you if you want to, but you just have to make sure that your feet are in a very good position, symmetrical, and that you have very good balance on the wheel. And for the most part, you can feel the wobbles coming on a little bit, and you can kind of just start doing a different carving motion, and you can get rid of this. The suspension is very nice. This here is bumpy, stretchy. I have to go very slow on my scooter. But I've just been kind of the suspension to see like this or like that, but all in all it seems to be doing fine no matter how you set it. So, you got something going. And it feels nice. I don't hear this typical clunking noise so much, but then I'm also not pushing the wheel like it. So we got a street tire on this wheel, which gets a little slick in these wet conditions. Always something to keep in mind. But it handles beautiful on the asphalt, guys. It's so precise and so agile. You really feel this curves and turns. It just speeds up. It's also very quiet. And even if you come across some situations like right here where there's some gravel, as long as it's not like terribly muddy and wet, you can get through here without any problems. I mean, it's a round wheel after all, isn't it? I just wouldn't do any crazy braking maneuvers or turns, but it'll get you through here without any stress. I will eventually put a knobby tire on this UC. I already have it at home. I already saw a great tutorial. All in all, it seems like taking this wheel apart and doing maintenance is going to be quite efficient and simple in comparison to a lot of vehicles, such as the motion. That is very, very difficult to work on, in my opinion, with a lot of screws and plastic parts. Taking everything apart just to do the most basic things. So I do appreciate that it seems like it's to manage to get this wheel and get this tire in about 3 minutes, which I thought was amazing. I'd say if you're fully pushing it, you're probably going to get like 30 to 40 miles, but if you're taking it easy, like right now, I would not be surprised if you get like 60 to 70 miles. I'm not sure what's the Begode app. Somebody on the skateboard here. Excuse me. Cool backpack. She's listening to music. I wonder if that was enough. Let's see. Alright. So the Android app works great for the Begode app, and so does it on the iPhone. But one thing you want to keep in mind when you're doing firmware updates is that it's going to be problematic on the iPhone. What can happen is it will fail the update, and it will break your wheel and put it in some kind of a beeping or kicking that cannot stop at all, and it's really irritating. And then you have to go get a Android phone such as a Samsung, and you have to try to do the firmware update and hope that it works. Which is so I recommend not messing with the firmware updates unless you really insist on doing that. You know, make sure you're fast charging and all that stuff. guys. It's clunky, it likes to moan a lot, it's grumpy. She's angry, bro. So here we are now. Go hit these steps here. Check out this cruise ship, guys. So here I am on wood. Oh, cool. Check it out. We have the Cobalt ferry coming in from Victoria, Canada right now. I guess it's running a late schedule in the summertime. So when you come to a stop with this wheel, what you want to do is you want to okay. This is how you know in town that the ferry is about to arrive, to get down into the port and jump on the ferry. You got about 15 minutes now. So you come to a stop with this wheel, right? And you want to set it down. Like I mentioned, the very far left one here. I'm sorry, right from this angle. The very far right button here. You press it once, twice. It makes a little beeping noise and the wheel goes down just like that. You have to be very cautious, right? To set it down gently. And when you want to pick the wheel up again, you grab it by this handle right here. Just gonna give it a little tilt up. And then you grab it by the bottom one here. Don't grab it by the plastic. You can rip it off here. Grab it here by the metal. And once you have it up, you just go ahead and let it kind of adjust. You'll see that it sits at a really weird angle, and then after a second or two, it gets into the right position. Now, did I do a calibration on this wheel? No, not at all. I haven't calibrated this wheel at all out of the box, and so far it seems to be fine. And I guess if you don't have to calibrate it, everything seems to operate fine. Don't mess with it, right? You guys are gonna watch that Cobalt arrive. Quite spectacular, actually. Good timing. The ferry ride over to Victoria, Canada takes about 90 minutes, and it costs what, about $25 US? And it goes from Port Angeles here right across the Salish Sea, and it drops you off right into downtown Victoria. And right here on the side, on the left side, you can see there is a little port where the cars drive in and out. And then they have a very nice cafeteria and a nice passenger deck. Ferry ride in general is extremely beautiful, especially on a nice day, because you can see the Olympic Peninsula, the mountains, and you can also see Vancouver Island in British Columbia over in the distance there. So we're going to stick around for this really spectacular 90-degree turn that this ferry is about to do. Where in the front on the left side, they'll take a couple ropes and they'll tie them onto the dock. And then they rotate the engine of the ferry, and then it just kind of scoots right into the harbor right there. And then they start unloading all the passengers, and everybody has to go through passport control and customs. And then they can disembark. A lot of times in the evening, you'll see a lot of cars parked over here waiting for the morning ferry. And then over here to the left, we have a cruise ship. There are a lot of cruise ships that like to come through in the dock here. You can hear the wheels just grunting and moaning. I like these flashers because I can change all the different colors on them. 163.4 volts out of 168. And we've done about 7 kilometers now. Very cool, guys. So you can see it's just scooting up in there. So give it a little push and lean forward as quickly as possible to accelerate. For them to leave and then go send it on these things, huh? The American spirit. Alright, here we go, guys. Check out. Stair check. Didn't even hit it at a good angle. That was kind of sloppy. Let's do it again. The wheel confidently took me down. Smooth like butter, guys. So much energy. Let's see if I can check out the ferry from here. I like this little zoom button this camera has. I really like these thick pedals that this wheel has. Also, I only wish that they would have added the little plastic accent light trim on the back of the battery box. That would have been really nice. So we got the display here, guys. Of course, it shows you the speed. It shows you either O or R up here for off-road or race. Then it shows you the voltage, which right here is 163.2. Then the number 3 right here is the pedal hardness, which I have it on my hard pedals. I like to have full control of this wheel and not have them feel sloppy. So soft is 1, medium is 2, and hard is 3. Then over here the 29, that is the temperature of the motor in Celsius. And then of course we have your mileage here in kilometers, 217.3. I've put these little pads here on this side just in case I knock the wheel over. They don't really serve any purpose, just to give it a little extra cushioning. So I'm really just working with these two right here, these little Baidu ones. Very nice. Alright, so this wheel has really grown on me, guys. It's very heavy, coming from a D12S. So it's taking me about a week now to kind of fully grow into it and get all the muscle memory for it and get really comfortable. It is extremely rewarding to unlock all these skills and abilities on this wheel. Just to be able to zip around with it and feel stable and confident on it. Let's go check out that scene. Moving forward and it freaking rips, guys. Which I haven't. Still have 90% battery. Shows you the temperature. Range. It also has this cool little video mode, so if you want to see what's going on ahead of you, it shows you. So yeah, this works really nice. Also have a little horn feature here. If you need to beep somebody out of the way. But personally, I don't like dealing with my phone. Really zippy, really sharp turns, guys. Let's go down to the marina. One thing you want to look out for with this street tire is these runs in the road here. Let's go through the harbor here. Check it out. I like that the headlight stays up and doesn't move around like all this. Beautiful sunset, guys. So 1, 2, and the wheel goes down. The kickstand's okay, as long as you have it on a solid ground, it's not going to get knocked over. But of course, be careful. And yeah, thanks for watching. Getting my first run of impressions on the Begode Blitz Pro. So far, it's been great. Extremely excited. So we just did about 20 kilometers now, which 10 kilometers, sorry guys. And we still have battery of 163 volts left, so yeah, amazing range, amazing wheel. It looks extremely beautiful, guys. Look at it. It's such a nice looking wheel. And the light show looks really awesome too. I forgot to mention that you can actually customize some of these options right here for this one. You can make it either in this blue hue color, you can make it red, or you can do a different couple of RGB effects like they are right now. But it will be nice if in the future they will also add the ability to make them any color that you like, kind of sort of like they do on the InMotion V12S. But I'm not complaining. For the time being, it's really nice. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and if you like this wheel, tell me what you think about it. Are you gonna get one of these also? Are you upset that you missed the group buy? You know that Begode has a race on sale right now for 1900, so you can rejoice. It'll probably be the next best thing with just a little bit bigger battery. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions about this wheel, about setting it up, put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you're interested in learning how to EUC and looking to get EUC in the future, make sure to check out the Water Rush shop and use one of our affiliate links at no cost to you. It definitely helps us grow and makes a lot more content for you. So hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video soon.